Hi, welcome to Gemini Star Spiritual Wellness. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you're doing well. So, June is fast upon us, and so today we're going to do the June tarot reading for the whole month of June. So, we're going to see what the energies are for the month of June. So, like I said, coming fast upon us here. So, we will see what's going on with June. It's been interesting watching the patterns of the weekly readings as well as the monthly readings as time goes on. So I'm quite anxious to see what it's going to be like for June. So, and happy Gemini season out there to all the Geminis are having a birthday in this season. So happy birthday to you. So let's see what's going on. And just a reminder that please take what resonates and leave the rest because it might not all resonate with you because there are a lot of people be watching it. And this is for the collective. So for the global collective, but it could also resonate with you personally as well. Just remember, take what resonates and leave the rest and keep shuffling here. Okay, spirit guides, archangels, what's going to be the energies for June for the collective? Energies for June for the collective. I have to get in my mode here when I do this. All right, let's go. See what happens with these energies or what's going to happen. The most probable path, I guess, is the way to put it. Is just oh, that's a good point to bring up. Is that the cards are telling you the most probable um energies, what's most likely to happen, but we can always change our future. So no matter what the cards say, you can always change it. They're just picking up on the biggest energies or what's most likely to happen. So nothing's set in stone. You can always change your future. Need to get a drink. And it's a little dark in here. I'm sorry. It's raining outside and it's an overcast day, so I had to really turn the camera light on pretty high so you could see me. So sorry if it's a little dark in here today. Okay. So Page of Wands. Ooh, we've got the Nine of Swords. Okay. Ten of Pentacles. Okay, we got the Six of Cups. Hanged Man. Okay. Ooh, okay. So you got some really interesting cards in here. We've only got one major arcana. The rest are minor. So we've got Page of Wands, we've got the Nine of Swords, we've got the Ten of Pentacles, Six of Cups, we got the Seven of Swords, the Hangman, and the Four of Wands. So looking at this from the past, I feel like this is a card I have for the past, the Ten of Pentacles. Let me turn it so you can see it. And what I feel as a collective in the past, I feel like that's what we wanted, or I'm feeling more like that's what we felt we had was the Ten of Pentacles. That's what we felt we had. What I mean by that is we might be looking back at it with nostalgia. Like in the past, like you sometimes hear people say in the past things were so much easier. It was we could afford more things, and well, which is true because inflation has increased a lot. But it's kind of that nostalgia for what we felt we had in the past. Um, what the pentacles that we had all these things in the past, or we felt like we were better off in the past or something like that. But what's interesting to that is, actually that's an illusion, and you'll see that in the cards coming up. But that's what we thought mentally. That's what we believed. And remember, if you believe something, it becomes your reality. So we believed that we were better off in the past. We believed that we had more pentacles, we had more things in the past, or we were happier in the past, or um, we had that belief. But the reality is it was illusion. We really weren't. We just didn't see it. Um, but we're starting to see it now that things weren't as good as we thought they were back then. And it's going to come out more. We're going to see it more. Um, so then in the current energy, we've got, I'm looking at it and as, so as a collective, we're going to see little steps forward, like the very beginning of passionate new starts coming in. So, baby steps because we've got the Page of Wands. So it's like baby step energy. I guess is the way to put it. So it's like we're taking a small step forward to a passionate new beginnings, and that's current. So that's right now. For the month of June, um, taking baby steps forward of passionate new beginnings. There is there is nostalgia, like I was saying about earlier, about kind of reminiscing about how things were better in the past. There's some nostalgia about that, but I feel like moving forward, or the current energy, there's going to be a lot of kindness from others, so that feeling of things were better back then, or we had it easier back then, it's going to be it's going to actually come in for real and not be an illusion. But there's going to be, we're going to have a lot of kindness for others and taking care of each other, so more of a community feeling than has been in the past. um and then when you're looking at the nine of swords, I'm sorry, it's we're definitely in a situation of unnecessary worry and concern. So we're kind of freaked out as a collective because of all these changes, and things are very hard on us right now, or we feel that way. So we're stressed and have anxiety, and we're anxious about it. And we're up. You see how he's kind of up at night? He's worried about it. He's sitting in his bed. So it's unnecessary worry and concern, and it's an illusion. It's we have all this fear for no reason. It's all in our head, but that's not really what's going on. But that's how we feel, and that's as a collective. So I feel like there's going to be some changes coming in this month that is going to make us, have that anxiety, that worry. But just remember, it's an illusion. Don't let the fear get to you. Don't panic about it, because it's all in your head. And it's going to be passionate baby steps coming in. Like as these changes happen, they might seem stressful and fearful, but it's going to be actually good things going forward. And I'll show that to you in the next group of cards, but it's kind of baby steps going forward of passionate new things starting this month, and then in June. And then in the near future, we've got this hangman energy. So it's like, see how he's suspended, he's hanging there. But if you notice around his head, he's got that little halo. So it's enlightenment. So he's being suspended, but he's going through a portion, like a period of time of enlightenment while he's kind of, waiting. And I feel like the collective is going to go through this enlightenment. So this information coming out, these changes that are happening are going to enlighten us to the truth and to our real reality. And it's going to enlighten us to the point where we're going to end up here. This is the universe's advice card. So we're leaving troubled waters over here. Wrong card, sorry. With the Six of Swords, we're leaving troubled waters, leaving the troubled, this fearful type energy behind, leaving that behind, and going to victory over here. Four of Wands. So it's gonna all work out in the end, but it might be a little bit rocky in June as far as dealing with those fears and that anxiety. But we are leaving that stuff behind. And we are going into the Four of Wands, which is victory. You can see they're happy. They call this, it's like the twin flame card or the marriage card, or see, there's victory, they're happy, everything's going good. You got the couple in the center there, they're all happy. So everything's going to work out for our happiness, but we might not see that right now. But it might really be kicking up in June. At least that's what I'm seeing. So we're going to need kindness to others to kind of get through this. So if you're fearful, or if you see people that are fearful and they're panicked and they're really worried and they don't understand what's going on, use your unconditional love on them, and be kind to them. And we need to have kindness to others, and really extend that unconditional love, because it is going to be really scary for people if they don't understand the spiritual stuff of what's going on. If they don't see the big picture and they're just going by what they see on the news every day, it is going to keep them in this energy of fear and anxiety. Um, but we don't want them to be there. So you can, do your best to be kind to help them get out of that. But I feel like June's going to be kind of very intense with that, but it's going to end up being good for us. And it's going to end up, these changes, this information coming out is going to end up being good for us, but it is going to provide us with enlightenment moving forward. So just a quick recap. um, in the past, it was an illusion. We felt like we had all this, we were so things were so much better in the past, and things were so much easier in the past, and but we're going to find out that it wasn't. It was an illusion. And what we thought we had back then wasn't real. But we're going to what's really much better and what's real. But it was an illusion that we consciously had, that we were basically stuck in. But but that's what it felt like, and people kind of long for that. But actually, we want to let go of those illusions and those old systems that we were trapped in, thinking that, it was better for us, but it really wasn't. So we're getting out of those systems, we're getting out of those trapped. And in the current energy, like I said, I see the collective taking baby steps forward with passionate, new starts. And it's at the very beginning. So very beginning of steps forward to this four of wands down the road. So very baby steps. But yes, definitely kindness to others. There is a sense of nostalgia, but I feel like these changes are going to bring out the good in people, the kindness to others, the unconditional love that we felt we had in the past that wasn't really there. So it's going to be the real unconditional love, the real community, the real what we really want. But that's coming. But definitely kindness to others this month of June, because there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be kind of freaked out because of what happens in June. So I feel either information is going to come out that's going to be really shocking. That's going to shock people's beliefs and their reality, but changes as well that's going to come out that's going to really shock, information and changes that are going to really shock people, and change the reality in their belief system. Because it's not easy when you grew up being programmed into a certain belief system or a certain structure of beliefs, and then all of a sudden you realize that all of that's not true, that and you spent decades believing it. That's not easy for people to get over. So there is going to be some angst and, some fear and some anxiety at this time. But I see in the future, in the near future, it's going to be a good time for us as a collective to have enlightenment moving forward. And it's kind of like, take this moment to, we're going to take this moment as a collective to enlighten, because a lot of stuff's going to come at us that's going to lift our consciousness, change our belief system, change our reality, but it's going to be for the better, because it's going to give us enlightenment and knowledge. Because, knowledge is really true power, is knowledge, right? So we want to have the truth. We want the knowledge, and it's going to come out. That truth and knowledge is going to come out that we have been missing. But it's kind of like in that hangman energy. Like I feel we're just kind of a collective in June. We're going to be or in the near future, so maybe a little after June, we're going to be kind of hanging in that, maybe over the summer, hanging in that energy. What I mean by hanging is we're just kind of hanging there, absorbing what's coming out and the changes being made and the information that we're learning, and the truths that are coming out and the reality that's changing and enlightening. So it's kind of, I think it's going to probably take the summer, now that I'm feeling summer, to kind of really go through this process. It's probably going to take a couple months, to be honest. But just remember that down the road, we're leaving troubled waters. We're leaving this fake illusion that, sorry, I'm still trying to learn where the camera's where the camera is. This fake illusion here that we have been in the past. We're leaving that behind and going to much smoother, better future. And how do I know it's a better future? Is because of this card right here. So that's what we're going to, is a much better future than what we've had in the past. So even if we thought, oh, the past was so much better, no, it wasn't. And you're going to find out it wasn't. We're going to find that out. That truth's going to come out. But yes, going to a much smoother future. So it looks like June's going to be pretty intense. So just remember to meditate and connect with your higher self as best you can in nature, or connect with nature and try to keep yourself from having this type of reaction, being, fearful and anxiety, because that's all low vibrational energy. And, it's interesting because I was looking into the Mayan calendar, and it stopped at 2012. And everybody was like, oh, well, nothing happened, at 2012 came and went. But then I found out recently, within the last 6 months, that their sense of time was off. So actually, I think it's like the calendar for them was 14 years off because of the way we do time compared to what they did time. So that means that technically their calendar is ending this year. So that's right in alignment with what we see astrologically, energetically, things going on in the world. So to me, I was like, oh, that makes total sense that it really wasn't 2012 our time. It was Mayan time, which is actually now 2025. So I just thought that was really interesting. But yes, so the whole new world's coming in. I think we're going to see, June is going to be pretty intense by looking at these cards. So we need to have that kindness to others. But I'm feeling intuitively not just kindness to others, but kindness to ourselves as well. Because you might get freaked out a little bit this month. So just be kind to yourself as well. Make sure you're taking care of yourself and working on your spiritual growth and doing what you need to kind of keep your vibration high during this time. Because the best way to combat that fear and anxiety is to keep your vibration high. That's the best way to combat it. So, and plus dark side entities, you want to keep them away by keeping your vibrations high. So thank you for joining me today. I forgot to say this in the earlier part of the video at the beginning, but please like and subscribe. Sometimes I just forget to say it, but please like and subscribe. Like this video so it'll go out to other people that need to see it, and please subscribe so that you will get future videos. The next video I'll be doing will come out tomorrow. It's going to be the weekly read. I try to get those out every Saturday. I try to do them in the morning, like get them out to you in the morning, but sometimes, depending on my schedule, it might be a little later in the day, but I try to get them out Saturday morning. So thank you for joining me and have a good day. Bye bye.